shot a little boy. He walks free, making bond on Tuesday. It has this family angry and confused.
And I'm trying to figure out how he got a bond that was so low for trying to kill my kid.
Arnold Daniel trying to figure out why Ryan Lee Wen is out of jail after allegedly shooting his son Kobe.
He tried to hit me with a sledgehammer, but that's not gonna work because I'm too fast.
So then what did he do?
Got a gun, boom, shot me right here.
It's all on video Saturday afternoon on Candlewood Lane. You'll see kids playing, hear a gunshot, then Kobe realizes he's hit. Lee Wen allegedly fired through his front window. The bullet went in Kobe's arm and out the other side.
He's bleeding! He got shot! Kobe got shot! He's bleeding! What? He's shot there! He got shot! He's bleeding!
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Peace. So let's get right into it, right? The Asian Crips responding to Charleston White for, Asians saying the N-word and him calling out the Asians and they stand behind China Mac and things of that nature, right? So real quick, shout out to Unify, shout out to the whole squad, shout out to my manager Nathan, shout out to my pops, man. So when it comes to, the Asian community, right? In the Asian hate crime bill, right? That the law just administered in for these people, right? Now, we remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was so many black people in arms crying on social media, on the news, getting so much coverage, saying how we stand with the Asians. So much black people saying how we stand with the Asians. And for us who were calling this bullshit out, exposing the racism in these other cultures, we were told that we were overreacting and we should have a conversation with the Asians and, things of that nature. And, that we should stand with these people and we stand and a lot of these people still stand with these people. But, and so we speak out on hate crimes of their people. But what happens when, it's hate crimes committed on our people from their people? What happens when these other cultures commit hate crimes against our people, the so-called black people of America? Of American captivity, I should say. So, once again, we got to understand that the target and the aim is at you, so-called black men. They're trying to get rid of you, and nothing that you can do or nothing that you do is right. All right. They even have the black woman. They even have the black woman dog mentality on you, or even at us for the things that we say. Right. But this is why it's good for us to start being able to realize that everybody in this era has a voice. It may not be, necessarily too good because it's a lot of people speaking bullshit, but it also is good because there wasn't, it's not like it was in the 70s or the 80s or the 90s where, nobody had a voice and niggas couldn't say nothing unless you had a following or you were backed by the, mainstream liberal media. Or if you had some type of Luciferian or Freemasonic ties or things of that nature, right? Or some type of Boule fraternal order ties and things of that nature. You weren't able to get any, you weren't able to get a message out. But with today, we're allowed to, use our voice as a platform and be able to speak on these type of topics. So getting back to the point, right? Where are the Asians speaking out and crying and just speaking out in general on that last video on the little boy who got shot, the 6-year-old little boy who got shot by an Asian man, right? That's a hate crime. All right, there was no reason for him to shoot that little boy because he left his bike in his yard, or on the not even on the drive. Anyways, so once again, we got to understand historically these people don't stand next to us. What happened with Letitia Harlins? All right, so historically these people have never stood up for the hate crimes committed by their people, on our soil, even though it's our people who keep these bullshit ass businesses alive and thriving in our communities because they moved into our communities via the 1960s and 70s civil rights. And if it wasn't for our people allowing these other nations and people and other communities to move in and intermingle in our communities, then they wouldn't be here. You know, so when it comes to the shit that's going on, even with the Asians and shit like that, right? This is why we can't stand next to these people, because they have a strong culture. They come over here, benefit off of what we do, you know, and the so-called culture and the things that we bring, right? And they send the money and make money off of the shit that we do and send it back to their country. They don't end up, you know, coming back to help us. They don't end up, you know, funding, you know, trying to fund, you know, the so-called black businesses in their schools. They don't even hire us in their stores. They sell us old, stale-ass candy. But anyway, let's get to it real quick and let's see, or let's let these so-called Asians speak for themselves.
Recently, China Mac, you know, been getting into it with this popular blogger named Charleston White. And, you know, he been saying a lot of racist things, you know, towards the Asian community and just, you know, things that are, you know.
Well, let me stop you right there. Secondly, not even secondly. Firstly, let me stop you right here. How can Charleston White, the so-called black man, say anything that's racist? If anything, he said something that's prejudiced, and he was speaking facts about the so-called Asian community and how they take advantage of the things in our so-called community that we allow them to do. For instance, we asked them to stop saying nigga, and they're telling us why they're allowed to say nigga, because we grew up around niggas and we, you know what I'm saying, we feel like we is niggas, when you're mimicking black men. All right. The one, this one in the right here, this one in the middle right here, right? You can tell that his whole little thing, right? His whole vibe is from a black man. Asians don't dress like this. All right. If you go back to Asia, or if you go to China, right, they don't dress like this. And the only reason that they do is because they're inspired by who? The salt of the earth, baby. The so-called black man of America. All right. Look at the man on the left with the 1805 up gang, you know, with the little beanie on, right? The little short, Filipino looking dude, right? Even him, right? These are not how Asians dress. These are not how the Asian culture dress. And these are not even how they talk when you listen to them speak. All right. But once again, how can Charleston White be racist or say something racist when we don't have any institutions set up that's oppressing you guys from being able to, you know, buy certain houses, or when you're able to buy houses, where you're able to buy houses? We don't have any institutions set up or any judicial system set up and laws implemented, right, that makes you guys a target for the incarceration rate or for the prison industrial system, right? We also don't have, aside from the laws and the housing discrimination, we also don't have anything set up or implemented, right, that's going to be able to allow you, that's holding you guys back from the information that you retain, or the information that you learn in the schooling system, in the Western society schooling system. So what are you talking about? How can he be racist when he's just making statements about our race and other races and other cultures taking advantage of our race? And once again, this is a so-called black man who's giving an interview.
When it rubs so well.
How the fuck they get a pass, nigga? And somebody do something to them bitches, and within 1 year of a president, these bitches got all kind of laws enacted. 1-800 nigga, baddest niggas been done in this country, homie.
Exactly. He makes a valid point. As bad as we've been done in this country, how is it that after only 1 year, right, or only a few months of them so-called being oppressed, or, you know, getting their ass kicked by so-called blacks, when have you seen these people being, you know, oppressed by the police? When have you seen these people have housing discrimination against them? When do you see these people get arrested at a higher rate and given longer prison sentences for the same crimes committed as people of other races? You got to understand, since the pale skin allomutation, right? The SLC45A2 gene allomutation is what they have in common with the so-called white man, or with the so-called white race, right? Because if you understand the intermingling of the races and how, you know, the people came down, or not even the people, the Nephilim and the Seraphim came down and they intermingled with man. And that's how they, you know, they made this pale skin. The pale skin, from what we understand in the scriptures, is what? It's a curse. So if we know that you have pale skin, and when you look at the Asians, once again, they share the SLC45A2 gene allo mutation. They're literally mutants of mutants. These motherfuckers are dirty people. All right, so they're able to come over here and they identify under the white social status, just like Latinos, right? Go in the four corners of the earth. It doesn't matter where you go. In all four corners of the earth, you have this pyramid scheme that's been set up, this matrix. That pyramid scheme is known as a worldwide caste system. Do you understand? Right? It's a caste system. And the caste system is set up, it's based on classism, which is then based within complexion, wealth, and bloodlines, right? So this is how they run the matrix. So it's racism or white supremacy based on colorism and complexion and social status, right? It's a divide and conquer Hegelian dialectic tactic. Okay, so pretty much this is not the base of the pyramid. This is just showing you the four corners of the world. So this is the world just in cube form, because remember, cube is representation of the mind. And if the matrix is used to control the minds of the people, then you get it. Right, Jamaica's is all of Caribbean island run the same way. If you don't notice, Jamaican people will come up here and look down upon American black people. So remember what I said, they dominate the shit based off of complexion, wealth, and bloodlines, right? So what has to do with classism? These are the different classes they got, right? They got true sovereigns. These are the elites. You got sovereigns. These are the ones who work directly under the elites. You got citizens. These are the people who the elite work for, who they are in charge of. And the citizens keep track of the second class citizens, the negros, the blacks. So you got four different class structures, right? True sovereigns, citizens, and then second class citizens. Now within these four groups, you have all these different nations of people. You have different groups of people. And these different groups of people will break down into these subgroups. So you got to understand this. So just because you see citizen white doesn't mean that citizen white includes only modern Europeans. That's not true. Because as I've shown you before, white is a social status. What do we say? Right? Where's the social status? Where the fuck is it? See, racism based on social status. Racism based on colorism and complexion. Here's the colorism and the complexion. Right? Here's the social status. So understand what I'm talking to you about. There are Asian people, when they come over here, they're classified as white. Latino and Hispanic are classified as white. Modern Asians are classified as white. You don't believe me? Let's see. Let's look it up. Definition of whiteness in America. How do you think the Irish and the Italian got incorporated into the social status of white? They originally were not considered white, and then they were incorporated in here. So you got to understand how this whole white thing works. Okay? White has become well established as a racial term, but in reality, it's not. You got to realize what the fuck is going on. Okay? Look, the designation white or Caucasian may overlap with the term Hispanic. So those you Negroes calling yourself Hispanic, you're a fucking idiot. You are a jackass, a coon, a sellout, and you know it. You just mad us regular niggas are calling you out. Okay, you're a sellout. Right? Look at all of these people who can particularly fall under. It defines white as people having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. So I'm going to read it for you again. They do not conform to any biological, anthropological, or genetic criteria. It defines white people as people having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, which would include Latinos, who are the conquistadors. The Middle East, which is the Ottoman Turks, or your Arabs, and North Africa, which are your Ottoman Turks. And go ahead, if you think I'm lying, look this shit up. They all fall under the so-called white social status. Even the Middle Easterns or the Arabians and you know, things that and these other people and these other nations, right? They all fall under the category of the white race. You understand? Because white encapsulates everything that's not indigenous people. The people that we identify as Asian, right, and Filipino, they are not the aboriginals of that landmass. The people that we identify as Latino and Hispanic, right, or so-called the modern-day Mexicans, they are not aboriginal to that landmass. You understand? Which is why they don't speak the aboriginal languages of these cultures, especially the modern-day Latinos. They speak a language of Spain. Spain is not a land from Mexico. Is not a language from the land of Mexico. That's not aboriginal to the land of Mexico. You understand? But all of these cultures and all these other races are encapsulated by the white race. So that's why they're able to benefit off the things that we do after we've been getting our asses kicked for hundreds and hundreds of years. Right? Even in their own lands. We are oppressed over there in their lands. Okay?
And they ain't never spoke one time for us.
Exactly. None of them spoke, and that's what I'm saying. Even with these other races, and even getting the George Zimmerman drop that I did, right? How many Latinos were you seeing that spoke up on that? You don't see Asians that speak up on the hate crimes committed against our people because they are racist. If you understand anything about the Asian people, or you know those people over there, they're dirty. They're even worse than the so-called white man. You understand? They buy all the garbage of the planet. They purchase all the garbage of the planet, right? And sell it to us. They sell us stale ass candy. They sell us fucking dogs. The shops that they open up, they're selling us bullshit. Same thing with the Arabians. They come over here, open up shops in our community and sell us pork and sell us tobacco that they don't even smoke, pork that they don't even eat. You understand? These people are dirty. Because once again, the main issue is since we lack culture, this type of shit plagues our communities, which is why we're never really going to be able to be anywhere until the cataclysmic event arises. And it's pretty much here already with the vaccine. This is the only way we're going to be able to separate ourselves, because once again, the Crip niggas in California allowed this bullshit to happen with the Asian Crips over there. So all of them type of niggas got to die, bro. All that gang activity and shit like that, niggas got to go. There's no need for that. Especially when you're allowing bullshit nations of people simply because they spilled blood of other so-called blacks in the hood in California. Niggas was talking about in the comments, well, the Asians out there in California, you got to understand the culture in California is gang culture. All right, so most of these niggas got to die anyways. Most of these niggas got to go anyway. And this is why it's not conducive, because since they spilled so much blood of so-called black rival gang members, not of Asian gang members, they're Crips. So since they've helped in the extermination of so-called black people, and so-called black people, the Asian Crip niggas out there believe that it's okay for them to say nigga, and they're black now too because of how many niggas that they've killed. You understand? This type of mindset is fucking retarded. All the niggas have peace treaties with niggas for killing niggas. It's so they done killed so many niggas, y'all rather not fight them no more because they done took over that land. Or they done took over certain blocks and certain hoods. Because niggas is bitches at the end of the day. And that type of hood mentality, that gang life mentality is not conducive for the so-called black community whatsoever. Niggas have to go one way or the other.
They Chinese rappers can come over here and go nigga, 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 nigga. And then when they get mad at us, they can also say fuck you, nigga. We can't say fuck you, gook. We don't even. Exactly. And it's the same thing. And this is what I've also been saying with the Latino community as well. And this is the point. They can come over here, benefit and do shit that they wouldn't allow us to do. You don't see so-called black men going over to the land of Mexico and practicing the mariachi music. The fuck out of here. They would not allow that shit to happen. You don't see black niggas dressed up as paisas. They wouldn't allow that shit to happen. But we allow that shit to happen because we have no culture. And when we call it out, we're the bad guys.
so-called black people get on the opposing team of the other race and vouch for these people. You understand?
How to speak they language to disrespect them. So they come take on our culture. China Mac, Johnny Dang, they get to be niggas, huh? And when a nigga say, nah, fuck you, Chinese boy, go rap in your language. Until y'all get some back, y'all been taking, nigga. Y'all don't even hire us.
Exactly. They don't even hire our people in the shops that they open in our communities that we've allowed them to open. How many so-called black businesses are they supporting? How many funds have they donated to be able to help, you know, other so-called black businesses on their block? You understand? Because they understand that that's going to be competition. They look at so-called black men and black people as a dollar sign, nothing else.
You know, how y'all feel about that?
I seen that shit. That's some bullshit. But fuck that motherfucker Charleston, whatever the fuck his name is, dog, man.
And it's crazy. And the crazy thing is that they're proving Charleston White's point. And my point exactly as well. All we're doing, and the thing is, we haven't made demands of these motherfuckers to start saying the N-word. We asked you guys to stop saying the N-word for respect. Since historically, you guys haven't stood next to us and we've allowed you guys to move into our communities, the at least you guys can do, the least you can do is stop saying the N-word. And you guys are trying to justify calling us a word historically that you guys have used toward our people as a derogatory term. So help me understand. And understand that this video is still up. YouTube didn't take this down. How is it that a whole bunch of Asians in one video can say "fuck you, nigga" to a so-called black man? How is this possible? But there's an Asian hate crime bill, right? Once again, they fall under the classification of the white social status. They are encapsulated by the white social status. Fuck that nigga Charleston. And look at the so-called the even if I don't know if he's so-called black. He looks to have, you know, a lot of he has a lot more pigmentation than they do. The brother on the so-called the brother on the far right? Look at him. He's laughing at it and things of that nature. He thinks that shit funny. He's the one who looks like, if he is black, you know what I'm saying? And he's just laughing at it. And once again, this is a dangerous mindset to have. Niggas have to die. Niggas are saying, fuck you, nigga, to other so-called black men. Are you sitting there laughing? You think the Most High is looking down on this shit proud of you niggas? You think the Most High is looking down on our people allowing this fuck shit to happen proud? You think our ancestors, you think our grandparents who saw their parents and saw white people and saw their cousins getting hung and uncles being hung and lynched, right? Who had to go through Jim Crow laws and had to go through with the segregation of the school system that my grandpa witnessed. How the fuck do you think our ancestors and our grandparents feel when they look at us and we allow these other nations of people to call us this and to do this type of shit? You think our grandparents are proud of us? This is what creates a disdain in the culture, in the so-called black culture, between the elders and the young niggas. You understand? Because we allow fuck shit like this to happen. We don't even understand how plaguing this is. They're literally disrespecting your people and your culture if you are so-called black. You look like you could be. You know what I'm saying? But this shit is ridiculous. Let's keep going.
We can't be like stereotyping all of us. Motherfucker, you know what I mean?
Oh, he can't stereotype, or we can't stereotype you guys, even though you guys stereotype the so-called black man. Once again, you guys come over here and dress like us. You guys replicate and emulate the bad parts of our community. You guys aren't dressed like businessmen, or men who have fathers, or men who have guidance and leadership in their life. You guys don't replicate that. You guys don't emanate that type of energy, that type of black man energy. You emulate the low frequency type of black man. But we can't stereotype you guys, but y'all can stereotype us and act like the dumb niggas, right? Act like the hood niggas, right? The so-called quote-unquote street niggas, right? The dumb niggas, right? The fuck out of here.
Come out here and fuck with us, period. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck that nigga. I'm all the way with China Mac, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to bro, you know what I mean?
Of course you're all the way with Johnny Mac. We can see that. You baby teeth have a motherfucker. And once again, look at the brother on the far right. If he is a so-called black man, he finds this funny. This is what we have to deal with. Our people allow the other nations to disrespect us. So when we put our foot down and try to ask for respect from the other nations, we can't even get that because you guys allow the disrespect to happen. This is why we can't even respect our own people. This is why the Asians and the Mexicans and the Jews and the whites and the Slovakians and the Russians and the Germans, this is why they look at our community as a fucking joke, man. It's a fucking joke. You think that shit's funny? Fuck that nigga. That's what he's saying. Fuck that nigga Charleston. Fuck that nigga. And that's funny to you. That's cool to you. You Cali Crip niggas allow this shit to happen, right? You gangbanging ass niggas allow this shit is cool to you niggas, right? You gangbanging ass niggas are the real coons of the fucking black community. And I'm not even speaking directly to this dude on the far right because I don't even know if he's so-called black. You know what I mean? But this is the real problem in our community. It's you niggas. And this is why I make the channel. It's aimed at you niggas, the so-called black men. How is it that we allow this type of shit to happen, but we expect ourselves to be taken serious on any type of level? How? Once again, these hood niggas and these gangbanging ass niggas, these are the real coons of the community, man. All the so-called black little boys and black little girls that come up missing in the so-called community in our neighborhoods, but you niggas know nothing about it. You niggas don't do shit about it. Don't nobody know the neighborhoods better than the so-called blacks, the gang members or the police. So why isn't that nobody's found anything up about it? And we don't even hear about it. This is something that we don't even talk about. You understand? But anyway, let's get back to the video.
Putting up for what he believe in, you know what I mean? It ain't even about the color, race, fuck all that, you know what I mean? He putting up for what he believe in and what he
believes in is taking advantage of our so-called quote unquote culture, which we don't have. That's what he believes in. So of course you're gonna vouch for that because you're partaking in it as well. Look at the way that you dress, listen to the way that you're talking. Asians do not speak like this. All right? And you guys didn't grow up black. So don't act black. So just because you grew up in the struggle or you feel like you grew up in the fucking struggle, that makes it okay for you to disrespect so-called black people, even after we're telling you saying the N-word is disrespectful. Right? You see the mindset that goes behind this, how plaguing this is?
butt bosses, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that nigga Charleston White, right? I don't even know, bro, man. This nigga got a white shirt on with black print saying white boy. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? He real Trump supporter, you know what I mean? Like, this nigga, oh.
And once again, you see how he keeps calling him a nigga. Fuck that nigga Charles. But if we say fuck that chink, fuck that whatever the fuck that gook, right? If we were to say that, what happens? What happens if we try to say that? But they're allowed to just say this, and look at the so-called, if he is a so-called black man over there on the far right, he's just laughing. This is funny to you, right? And then another thing too, this is how they know that it's a fucking joke. And how they can easily get so-called black people on the side. He just compared it to Trump. Oh, there's real Trump. Like, wow. You must be highly intelligent to be able to see that. People love pulling that card. Oh, he's real Trump-like. Or you must be a supporter of Donald Trump. The fuck does that have to do with anything? They understand.
Man. You done got me started, man. Look, man, he ain't never been a foot a day in our circumference, man, in our trenches, you know what I mean?
Are you sure about that? Are you sure? Or have you ever, or is it that you guys never stepped a foot in our circumference? You guys have never stepped foot in our trenches. Once again, were you guys, so help me understand what the fuck y'all have been through. Help me understand this. Were you guys shipped all over the fucking planet, and you guys were told that you were, what, 2/5, 3/5 of a man? Not even a full man? Or did you guys go through indentured servitude? Were you guys shipped all over the fucking planet as an import? Or did you choose to leave your bullshit-ass land that you guys cannot take care of because it is not your land in the first place? You guys have no emotional, nor cultural, nor spiritual attachment to that land in the first place. So you come over here and benefit off of the work that we've done, right? Did you guys get dog sicked on you? Right? Did you guys have to watch your own brothers get hung? and the laws permitted it, right? Did you guys have to deal with that? Were you stripped of your culture and your heritage? So what the fuck are you talking about? He ain't stepped a day in your circumference of your trenches. The hell are you niggas talking about? That shit is not important. You ain't been through shit just cause you grew up around niggas and you gang bang and you've killed other so-called blacks. You've helped in the extermination of our people. What the hell are you talking about? And you've played a part in the... Oh my God, bro. Let's keep going.
I don't know how he grew up.
Cause I'm getting pissed off just as I keep going, man.
I don't know how he grew up, you know what I mean? We grew up around niggas. We grew up around all type of niggas.
So that makes it okay for you to... So that makes you a nigga? Does that make you a nigga? Did you come from the ball sack of a so-called black man? We see you have the Asian phenotype. You have the baby teeth. We see you got the Asian teeth. We grew up around niggas. Yeah, we can tell you grew up around niggas because you're emulating our energy so tough. And you're not even emulating niggas. You grew up around dumb niggas, ignorant niggas. That's who you grew up around. You grew up around niggas who allow you to emulate their energy and to partake in the degradation of our culture. That's who you grew up around. You grew up around fatherless children who don't have any guidance nor leadership in their life. That's who you grew up around, all right? So I'm not hearing none of that, bro.
Type of colors. And we all talk the same. You know what I mean? The whole fucking trenches out here talk the same. It's Northern Cali, nigga. This Cali.
Yeah, the trenches in Cali. What about the people in Asia? Where the fuck you come from? Do y'all talk like that out there? No. So you're not black. Stop pretending to be black. The fuck is wrong with you niggas?
Nigga, it's sack, nigga. We all talk like this. Fuck wrong with you? We got brother.
Fuck is wrong with him, bro? Yeah, fuck's wrong with Charleston White. Fuck's wrong with a black man telling people who benefit off of our culture and don't help in any type of way, right? Just leech off of our culture. Fuck is wrong with Charleston White for calling out you other. Fuck is wrong with niggas like Charleston White for calling out the other cultures, for disrespecting us after we're asking you to stop saying the N-word because it is disrespectful. If you truly have respect for the so-called black community, you would not say the N-word. All right, this is how you know that these people are racist as a whole. As a whole, these people are racist. You understand? It's just like when you ask a woman for a paternity test. Any woman that gets mad that you bringing up a paternity test is a whore. Let her go. If I ask one of my friends of another race, they shouldn't be saying it in the first place. But if I ask one of my friends of another race to not call me a nigger, to not say the N-word in my presence, and they try to justify why they say that, then we have a problem in our hands. And I'm going to leave it at that. So let's keep going. This is almost over. We got, 14 seconds left? Let's go.
Out here, nigga, man, come on.
Once again, calling him a nigga. How is this possible? How is YouTube allowing a group of Asians to call a black man a nigga? Fuck that nigga. Fuck that nigga. In a derogatory form. They're using it as a derogatory term.
Oh, man. That nigga crazy.
Don't get us fucked up, though, man. You know what I mean? Don't get us fucked up.
Yeah, you touching Houston, nigga. Come touch Sac, nigga. Let us know, nigga. Come touch Sac, nigga.
Well, he travels all the time. I'm pretty sure he's been to Sacramento. So how about you let us know when you're back in Asia? How about that? Because we asked you to go back to your bullshit-ass land that you can't take care of, that you have no cultural heritage to, that you have no spiritual attachment to. All right? Holla at us when you go back over there. Because you like doing stuff for those people. You like speaking up for those people, but you won't speak up for our people. What happened? Where were y'all at when that Asian man shot that little 6-year-old black boy? That's what I want to know. Since y'all niggas, right? Y'all want to be niggas so goddamn bad. Niggas love to be niggas till it's time to be a nigga. I'll tell you. So that's all we got on this part, man. We'll catch up on part 2 with Charleston White. Peace.